minutes was certainly there, but every skill shot registered exactly as needed. Beautiful stuff from World Elite. So far, I still remain to be convinced by the Ivern on the side of SKT and specifically Peanut, whereas WE looking clean in the early game like they did earlier today.
I definitely agree, but with the advantage that Huni had, this is kind of just pulling things closer. This is not blowing top lane wide open, and unless Condi is going to continuously go up there, Huni will win this 1v1. So despite the first blood going over to Gragas, this is kind of more of a stopgap than really blowing this matchup wide open.
They had so much CS already. The Bilge Water towards the Blade of the Ruin King is completed for Huni, so item timing to that point, certainly pretty happy. Speaking of happy, Frank will get his first blue buff of the game.
They're already starting to focus that top side to make sure Huni is getting exactly what you say. No actual wards go in when they steal the blue, but Faker now up a bit. We'll see if they can defend theirs as it comes up shortly.
The other thing I really do love is the actual pairing of a ranged top laner with an Ivern on red side. When you do this, you can donate red buffs over to your top laner over and over, and that is ridiculously good for Kennen. But here comes SKT. They want to try to contest this blue buff.
Very early pings. Faker and the team knew it was happening right away. Xie just missing the bubble. Condi in a dangerous spot. It looks like they have to give this one up. They get all the little escapes that they need, but can they continue to leave this? Shockwave forces the flash onto Condi and to Ben.
Double flash, certainly a good reward there. They didn't lose their blue buff either because the timing was on point on the rest of the SKT team collapsing. So a lot of pressure going to be relieved in bot lane. It's going to be very helpful there as no longer have to expect the flash behind. Turning to bot lane, the trades of course will continue.
Remember now, it's Ben without that flash, so this is something that could be capitalized on as Wolf gets 6 and Peanut wants to come down. The Lulu could be easy pickings, but looks like Peanut wants to go upside, grab that red buff, look for it to go over to the Kennen to really start to abuse this matchup, and I think it's such a strong pairing.
Ideal timing-wise would be after he shopped and got his Cull purchased in. Only 15 CS away from that, but efficiency of the pathing from the Ivern is more important, so asymmetrical maps certainly will be helping out SKT in this particular regard. Returns to top lane, and 957 won't be able to go the Budget Rod of Ages. The triple Doran's Ring is halted in many ways, and build path is always a bit more frustrating when you're dealing with physical damage. The Spirit Visage, of course, has so much double dipping for the tank grasses.
I agree, and Huni's itemization is so straightforward and so easy against the Gragas. Blade of the Ruin King, Wits End, both incredibly powerful against this guy, and mostly what he is going to want to do is just build for the 1v1. It's not as much about the team fight here for Huni on this Kennen. 957 doesn't have the luxury of just building for pure 1v1.
Think of the shielding on the side of SKT to empower Bang, but also its disengage, also its utility to get them away from a hard engage like the Rengar ult. So there is just a lot of safety.
Setting a trap here.
Oh, nice flash from Peanut. Dodges the empowered Bola from Condi. But they do get that out. So Peanut, we see continuously being pressured on this Ivern jungler where he's usually one delivering that medicine.
And Condi does have his ultimate up now. They did not expend that to actually blow the summoner. So they are looking here on the bot side. They want to try to collapse and perhaps push down this early first turret.
They have great wards. They see Faker coming right across the blue if they were to. Condi's going to be hanging in the jungle. See if they engage.
They'll be found at every possible pathing, and 957 has an excellent teleport ward. Knowledge there for SKT. There is that teleport.
Sometimes you got to wonder if it took too long to engage. Tidal Wave comes out.
He stopped the TP.
Wild Growth on, and Bang is going to get the damage from Condi. He goes roar on him with the empowered, and now Bang's going to get himself killed by minions. That kill goes over to Bang, but he goes down as well. And now Faker coming in onto Xie. Will they be able to get the kill? Mystic and Condi seem like they make it out. Great minion wave to help them, and they may be able to get a few shots onto this to make it a 1-for-1. First turret trade.
The thing you kind of give up when you go for the Ivern is a lot of these skirmishes are going to be lower damage. You're going to be unable to turn fights. That's certainly on Lee Sin and other picks Peanut will be able to do. Still, they posture pretty aggressively, and SKT do lose out.
Yeah, and until you would have that Twitch at a strong point where you just keeping him alive is enabling him to really crush people down, then you're not worth as much in these fights. And I think WE making a good play here with the Rengar ultimate up, summoners down, they're able to force, and this is Huni stopping with the ultimate. I do believe on 957's TP is able to just walk walk right out too.
Doesn't have to commit his flash either, or didn't use it afterwards, as you can see at the bottom of the tooltip. But yeah, Peanut is on the utilities, not able to get in and skirmish. Faker's turned on, doesn't fall, couldn't get into the main lines either, so it's not play the Rune King, it's not really the damage timings yet for Bang, and SKT lose a couple of skirmishes in a row.
Yeah, despite this being the Bang Wolf bot lane, Ben and Mystic are matching up and more than enough for the challenge so far. Heavily ahead in farm, they knock down first turret, they can start to rotate around, and that means that Gragas gets out of this terrible matchup in the 1v1 against the Kennen here too. So a lot of wins for WE, and they're putting together a lot of the pieces that they would need to for a possible win.
I mean, not often are teams in first rotation over SKT dictating lane assignments. When you take the bot lane turret first and kind of try to exploit the rotate down to the bot lane, you're on the front foot. You're allowed to open up gold. You get access to extra mid wave. WWE the first team to have a pretty good gold lead. Again, only a couple of thousand, but it's the ordered fashion. It's the fact that there hasn't been any sidesteps that are really exciting if you're a WE fan.
Speak about that access to extra minion waves. We also have to remember teleport on Shield. 5-7 if they want to play a side lane here. The side lane on top.
Condi with the
Played by
Rengar,
Ben.
he's gonna be here.
Gets out. Ben and Condi on the backside of the ultimate definitely makes SKT think twice. Wild growth on two. Bang and Wolf just coming out of a fight. Don't have the summoners to keep going. And Condi's in front. Wolf goes down. He should be able to make it out alive as the Ivern still not doing enough to impact. And now Bang trying to get to the brush, use the hide with Faker. And the Shockwave could come in. The turnaround, no kill to hit. As the Shockwave is held, they are still going to get one now. Shockwave goes to Mystic, and the fight follows up as SKT was waiting for it.
Being on, it does cancel with C being onto Daisy, so backs away. Flash auto attack, enough to get the kill. Speaking of flashes.
Well, GA does not want to stop. The blue buff is there to continue the damage forward, and Bang's not going to be the one to go down. Can they guess it? Yes, they can. Ben picks that one up, and bot lane is a fight between Cooney and 957.
And so far, Condi has been more than a match for Peanut in this game. He has been in the right place at the right time, able to respond with that Rengar ultimate, comes crashing in, using that Lulu Rengar combo, and picking up some more kills. WE is really playing strong in this game.
And all that SKT really has to show here in the game is the CS advantage for Hooney on the Ken. Of course, countered by a massive CS advantage for Mystic over Bang. Bang opens up, but he's a level behind. He hasn't been able to get anything going in the laning phase. Basically goes 50-50 with the laning trade. None of the Rengar ult was popped. The combo was there. SKT were on the back foot.
Peanut again trying in mid, still playing a decent Ivern, just not having that impact for these two. Back 1-2, help the team control some of the lanes here. Big moves to the top to start dropping these turrets.
And to be clear, SKT is not in trouble by any means in this game just yet. They have an extremely well scaling composition. They have side lane advantage later in the game. They have the stronger hyper carry. They have a lot going for them. It's just that WE is really making this work. This game very, very close. It's anyone's game.
And making them work is not something you can really
Rengar ultimate coming up for Faker.
Oh, he is getting pinched on this one. Ball to the top side. Death comes from the bottom as Condi picks up another one. 3-1-1. 957 in a troublesome situation on the bottom. 0 out. Picks up the win. Two shots heated up. And now WE 957 tries to dance around. Dancing by SKT.
On both sides is going to be rewarded with turrets. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. Be more gold going globally on the side. SKT with 3 people attacking, although we're going to walk up as well.
And SKT plays so well around their opponent's cooldowns. They knew that 957 had no Gragas ultimate in the mid lane, so there's no real way for him to ever turn around this dive. And here's Uni in on GA.
The auto attacks, of course, only thing to talk about in that particular regard. I still would wipe away some tears for AP Cannon, but Hooney now has the red buff. He's going to free auto attack on the mid lane turret. This would be a bonus objective as SKT are dividing and conquering, taking the Drake at the same time.
And Faker's coming back from base, so they're doing this. WE is just giving them way too much personal room, and he finally has to back. But now that mid is red. Faker just took down top, so SKT, while they were on the back foot from Condi, found another way around. Start working around their opponents.
And it's all educated guesses. You know, we've talked a lot and criticized teams. I know you yesterday were talking about Flash was looking for the perfect. SKT don't have perfect information to be taking both mid lane turret and a Drake while their Orianna isn't there. It sounds like a comical amount of things that aren't there. Right. They try and test their limits. They have some information. and they kind of get the benefit of actually making those aggressive plays that they could always pull away from if they needed to.
And I think one of the things that SK does better than almost anyone is play the percentages. If this is a high percentage play, they will go for it. It doesn't matter if it's 100%, if it's a 70% chance, they're always going to go for it. If it's a 60% chance, they believe in their outplay ability to make these things happen.
SKT was a poker team, they would be tight aggressive, whereas we've seen too many tight people folding throughout the course of this tournament, and the aggressive side is what SKT have needed to actually find any sort of a lead, because WE have mostly been on the front foot.
They never fold any pair. Bang, Wolf, Faker, Bang, Peanut, Faker, full house of the whole team. SKT's going in.
I mean, it looks
Royal
like
flush.
it's been looking like, as you say, a royal flush for a lot of this season. KT fans so impressed about that.
I think KT fans had a lot of things to be impressed about this season.
The suffering is real, as they'll.
18 minutes in, 957 gets the Shockwave tidal wave to follow up as well. And the root caller onto Mystic. They've been hit with just about everything, but the crowd control wears off. And they see through the fog. It clears, the fight is over as well. But a lot of summoners and ults blown to the side of SKT. Condi goes in on the Faker. Oh, that's forward under the turret. Condi taking damage, just gets out of range, but he still goes down to Bang. Peanut's gonna be the next one up, and they cut the tree down right in front of his team.
2-for-1 trade for WE, but Wolf on point with these bubbles is allowing SKT to get something back in this. Mooney is showing bottom. They know they can't defend, so they're going to sacrifice the turret. The question is, can WE go for 2 right here?
The tight, aggressive stuff we were talking about can be exploited, and in this case, Kennen was not teleporting. Kennen was committed to the bot lane. You can't always have the royal flush. This time, SKT for the overstay around their mid lane turret.
Boom. No bluff from WE. They go hard on mid. Now all the outer turrets are down. They can still protect mid, but they can move that line forward, use the speed, and use Condi to get into the jungle.
At the end of the day, they have information coming up in a second about the Kennen, but this is focusing on the engage from SKT. They try to get as much damage as possible. They have to respect Condi, because it's clear from this that Mooney was at no point committing to coming to mid.
And I mean, the bubble pushing Mystic back there gives them some confidence to stick around, and then another great bubble here from Wolf onto Condi, at least gets them 1 kill, and what could have been a pretty bad fight.
Faker with the hula hoop. Play a champion of all time, doesn't hit every ult. Maybe Faker isn't always cracked up.
Right.
Oh boy, right up in that.
Right.
Front
Delete my Twitter
page
feed.
right away.
Just about 1,000 gold lead here. A little over, obviously, for WE, but that means SKT is very much in this and almost getting actually pressing right on to WE on their side of the base. They have the map. Was able to place forward, has now been cleared.
As you know, Hooney with the Rip Arrow buff, the fact that it gives him even more side lane advantage, but that's going for the Hurricane. It does have more pushing power, but it's not as strong in the 1v1 against the Gragas as that Wits End.
And it's just really interesting because it only does one thing. It pushes. Push is super good. I guess if you're free hitting a team fight for some reason, it's good. But it's basically a pushing thing. And it's also not even pretending. It gives so much information about what SKT and specifically Mooney is trying to do that it is workable. And it does mean that 957 is going to be a lot about basically 957 here holding their teleport. They have double teleport down. Mooney's taking
Thankfully for WE, they at least do have the double teleport that gives them more options to actually answer this and wave clear these side lanes. You know, they can rotate their mid laner to bot if the TP is on cooldown for 957.
Tails, Crucible, and that Redemption up for Peanut first. Faker with the cleanse as well. They're focusing a lot on that CC break. A good flash on the Bola and a powered one just to the left. Can Faker have what it takes? Finally gets taken down. 5's enough. 4's enough.
I mean, it's a long lane and mid lane where you don't have an outer turret as Orianna, one of those champions that can really have problems with good lane assignment. Certainly can't go top lane was where Bang and Wolf were. Nowhere good for Faker to be standing. Coming back to the clearly they're aware that Faker can be picked, but Peanut not close enough, and it means the Orianna's a free kill.
Few prep shots on the turret before the minion wave makes it in. Daisy down, so they don't have much pressure to see back at WE, and Mystic staying in a great range with Ben there on his hip. Looks like they get a few bits of damage on this turret, but still protect their mid as 957 is bot holding off Mooney.
The interactions with Ivern and actually the team of WE are pretty comical because Caitlyn can use the Ivern brushes for extra headshots, and the Rengar gets a free jump out of them too. So misplaced brushes actually punish you a fair bit. If you drop a brush line, then retreat from it, it's giving Rengar a free way to chase.
Coming back also to the itemization, you can see 957's actually winning health trades with a Rift Herald lock cannon, which lets you know that definitely the itemization hasn't been focused on taking down 957. He'll back away. Remember, the picks that we're seeing consistently onto Faker, it feels like one person from SKT is dying every 3 minutes, aren't translating to objectives. And speaking of objectives, the second Drake spawn the game's an Inferno. SKT have a lot of damage as they're rushing.
WE is actually moving up to Baron. There's pinks up there. Do not think they have the confidence to actually start it, but now they are going to as the TP comes in.
It's so risky. They have a very low damage, and they want to turn around from the Baron, though, you have to think.
They didn't also see that ward in the back of the pit. Their pit ward is too far up, so they didn't know that SKT had vision, and SKT is here to contest. Huni TPing in.
Peanut on the side, looking to throw Daisy in, flashes in for this one. Peanut steals the Baron, and now the fight from SKT to WE. 957 looking to separate it, but he's already used the ultimate, and Daisy now splits the teams. His first hits are going to be the ones that count, and Condi and Shie forced to flash out of the pit. 957 in the front. Mystic has shots from the side, but he's not putting in any damage just yet. As SKT finds the way into the fight, it's straight in, and Condi now jumping onto Huni. Could be the one they attack, as Huni, one hit from going down. Ben picks that one up in a very scattered fight that seems to not be over.
They need to keep on to Mystic, otherwise the formation and the brush means that Mystic may be able to turn a fight if group. They're not. Peanut does this so often. Mechanics on point, picking up the steal on the Baron. And speaking of mechanics, you move that control ward an inch forward, and that play can never happen.
That is the biggest deal. It's a misplaced pink ward, something that should have never happened from WE. They rushed it because they thought the pit was clear, and that pink ward, if that is a little bit up, Peanut has no vision, cannot make this happen, and WE with the Baron here perhaps has their way in to close this game.
And you have to be certain, again, we've used that poker analogy a lot, but you cannot afford to make this mistake when your comp is actually a slow one to take Baron. It's Karma mid lane. It isn't going to be able to rush down. You need the certainty that there are no wards there. And as you say it, Zale, that might be the difference between a victory and a loss for Team WE.
You don't get to make a lot of mistakes against SKT, and although WE, he fought this relatively well, they do get the 1-for-0 kill. It's still Baron on 4 mid lane turret for SKT, and you have Baron buff now on the split push advantage, which really is going to unlock him to start knocking down turrets.
They're able to still pick up their blue, denying what should be SKT's resources at this point. WE a little bit more. Hard defense are built up on Ben, trying to keep Mystic going even more. Condi still with the ability to make plays, but SKT is chomping down so hard right now that the plays are still unmakeable.
But the game is actually being played on the mini-map. It's the Cannon and the bot lane who now even
They're all collapsing. They're looking for
Mallet and also the Hurricane. You're right, they are collapsing. Now not respecting it at all as Huni.
So not rend.
Comes the cavalry for WE, but they're kind of split between two decisions and they choose to back away.
Yeah, and it looked like WE did not know where the rest of SKT was. With them missing off the map, they gave them the respect, perhaps too much respect, that they would be in position and Huni wouldn't be that far out without defense.
But it's so comfortable when you overtake a single kill and you lose cards on the other side to Baron. We'll have to back away for now, as this is where the action is at least.
Bang looking for a flank. He's going to try to cut people off as they come to rotate over, and Huni with the solo kill on bot lane.
Used it all, Blade of the Rune King and the kill. He's going to get hit by Condi now as the top lane pressure happens. Condi has to make this work, or he has to get back to the defend
but
team.
he's already back up over half health from the minion wave.
SKT's just going to crack the base here. Let's see if Condi can do it.
He locks him up enough. There it is. Had to get the empowered in, got himself to safety. That trigger gave a little bit out there on any of surging. 10-7, 26 minutes in. SKT still making a lot of dent on the side of WE here.
All these timings are piling up. Finally getting a laser focus item and a Baron buff. Gets the solo kill onto Shie and finally does get turned around as Shie walks up. The crit, 2 crits actually surprise him. He goes down for the karma for Shie.
And that is actually so poorly played by Shie, with Condi already making the road down. just have to wait for the Rengar to be there. Just do not let Hooney run away. If he retreats, you move forward. If you come forward, you retreat. If the Rengar comes forward, then you can actually collapse and get something done. So over-aggression there from Week8. No patience on the play.
He's feeling great about his items. 500 gold into Elixir of Wrath as they start getting a little more power under their belts here. Couldn't get a full item, so he's just going to go and Elixir up.
Still 3-item Caitlyn, though. You know, we talk about mid-game humps. That's over now when you have double Zeal and the Infinity Edge, and armor penetration is not of much value against the items that are built by SKT. So unchecked Mystic can still do a lot. Secret Agent 007 can really change a mind.
He certainly can. And I mean, the fact that you pointed out there's not armor being built up, you can build the luxury items, go for pure DPS, and really shred through these guys despite the shields if left unchecked in the fight.
We saw at the Barons that he was left unchecked, but Bang coming in huge, doing over 1,500 HP to 2 members of WE. That means they have to turn tide, head back to base. And now they're going to go ahead 50 seconds onto the Drake if they even want it. The vision's going to be there for themselves.
Not the 4-1 you expect. It's Orianna split pushing the entire time, so WE didn't necessarily have to flash defensively in too many different ways. If you said a full commit couldn't happen, Rengar ult just used for information. SKT will back away, but they can continue to make these plays pretty consistently, and they do have a teleport advantage, at least for Hooney over 957, so it might have to be Gia once again matching up to Kennen, which on first check and with the last recent example, didn't look so great.
Definitely didn't. I mean, I think he should be able to wave clear at least with the Karma Q spam. He certainly has no business trying to take a 1v1, and WE is moving down here. They're going to be caught off guard.
That was faster than he would have expected. Peanut could be going down next. Redemption comes in. That was Wolves. And it looks like they're going to get themselves here to the bot lane. Good pressure here. Also blowing ultimates would help with a Baron in 1 minute as topside is being worked by Hooney.
Yeah, meanwhile, At is definitely the sub-story here. Hooney has those items and also the Glimpse of the Void. So these auto attacks gets almost completely down. Oh, 957.
Knocked in. Could get the resolve in from Gia. Actually hits a minion. They're not going to get enough damage in. Mystic with the flash forward. Not the flash forward, sorry. Caliber Nat. There are the shots. Hits him with the barrel and brings him under the table. But the bot lane is still being hit by SKT as they're just putting so much on WE's plate.
This is the pressure play. This is the lose-lose. The best teams will force you.
They're going to look for an engage perhaps here, though. Conde does have the ultimate. WE does not want to let them escape. They're trying to corral them. Conde is playing it slow.
Conde looking to get some stacks in. Uses the Q. Redemption for Bang to make sure nothing happens for him, as it looks like he's going to be able to get out alive. Conde very low, but Bang as well gets the shockwave, and that's the kill coming in for Faker. 957 over the wall. They're looking for the low health, but everything is getting away. This is changing the mentality of WE, making them go inches further and costing them members. However, 2 for 2.
SKT make plays you wouldn't expect. Bang opens up and melee Rengar, trusting his Orianna, trusting his Nami. Means they're able to eventually use the flash defensively on Bang after getting a beneficial trade. That is what separates SKT. Making the aggressive laser out of mid lane turret and Drake just about 10 minutes ago, and then in scenarios like that, if you don't go offensive, as you say, Azael, you get collapsed on.
Yeah, and I mean, it's recognizing also, look how far away Mystic is. This is a protect the AD carry comp. If the Caitlyn is not there, there's no threat on the rest of the members. That gives SKT the confidence to open up on Xie again.
Great dissonance from Faker, giving them the range to get in room for a bubble, and Bang's kill. Another one for SKT.
And when the items come up onto Bang, it reminds me of that LCK final where you saw so often Bang opening up super aggressively on Bang, knows the damage output, goes back, adds on Infinity Edge if you don't mind, and suddenly he doesn't respect anyone on the side of WE.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a good ultimate off with Twitch, now that you have the IE, a couple crits will shred through pretty much anyone in the backline.
And we were looking for gentlemen's agreements. Turned out the real gentleman's agreement was no one building armor. It's only a Sunfire King and a little bit of armor on 957. So we got 2 super high damage hypercarriers.
SKT forcing the Baron. Xie is dead, does have his TP. We could join the fight, but they're going to go for it.
Conde's in, looking to clear this ward, but he's getting himself the wild growth immediately. A lot is used to defense. Obviously, SKT will turn the fight. A kill on a Conde coming in from Bang. And the team gets quite an assist on that as they continue to break up the goal. Not going to aggro back to full health. The minions are taking down the Nexus turrets in the base as SKT works around the map when they're not even there.
I mean, it's a win-win for SKT. Even if they have to back off, if Xie TP's in, that means the second Nexus turret will likely also also fall. So
Right.
they have the pressure around the map. Now barreling down mid lane, not taking time to base because they already have big completions and they can force down even more turrets.
I mean, Void Staff, Infinity, it doesn't get much better, just slapping on a bit of extra attack damage. So whack out the Daisy, take another inhibitor turret. It goes down, all three down now for Waterly. Turrets are down.
Not long in this world. Downside, continue the pushing. You're going to split it. They have all the power in the world, and they're trying to spread WE thin for any fight as they stand under the one Nexus turret.
The ults here, and he picks the game, probably ends. There goes down another inhibitor. Condi wants to go, and there's 957 as well. They have to make it happen.
They don't have wards behind him. This could be the entry. He's got to hit it. Bang gets the first knock, but he gets pushed to the side, and Condi's actually the front line with 957. They're the tanks. They go down the fastest. The hula hoop from Faker just for the show. Mystic, Ben, and Chie trying to make it to the base for Starless as SKT continue their dominance here on day 2 of the MSI group stage. They will stay undefeated as they take down WE.
Crowd hype is legendary. SKT 4-0. The early game super debut on that Ivern. Question marks for Peanut, but we know they can play other styles. They now win with the Ivern, and if you're preparing for SK Telecom tomorrow, you've got another thing to worry about.
Yep.
Matt Hooney in the side lanes, I think he was so pivotal in this game for them, giving them the time to build up to this stage where Bang could take over. He drew so much pressure, so much attention, taking down turrets, getting solo kills, and Hooney was a big star for me on SKT this game.
The ability to have a few sit back and the other few carry, as you said before, Azale. They really synergize well, and they know the role going into the game. It did look like a lackluster start, but it was his role. He knew he couldn't get in too much damage because that's the Ivern.
This SKT knew when they were strong, and they knew what were the calculated risks. There were a lot of calculated risks in the game. There were a lot of polls that were made with incomplete information that, again, a lot of teams this tournament, especially the Flash Wolves who put the microscope on them, have been reticent to make. But SKT make those value bets, make them work, and that actually allowed them to steady in the mid game. Because around 20 minutes, we were not sure who would be winning this game.
Definitely weren't. I also love the fact that SKT, when they get that Baron, despite Faker having enough for a full death cap, they know that the map pressure that they have already achieved is more important than him basing and resetting the map, allowing WE time to set up their defense, to push out waves. They never give you a chance to set yourself up, but they just push down and end the game.
And that's such a cool stat. A death cap is such a big thing. But getting all your minion waves pushed up takes a lot of time. So you lose so much tempo backing that actually they gained a lot more with Faker sitting on 4,000 gold, which was a lot of the gold lead.
Absolutely crazy game. Hooney coming out with 28,000 damage there. Bang was behind him at 22. So as you guys were saying, he was doing so much work. So now that we've seen the last victory screen of the day, let's catch up with Dash and the gang.
Thank you very much. A little heartbreak for Team WE, fans of the LPL, as the comeback victory comes through for SKT. Off of a slightly rough start. But here's the thing. We were talking about a perfect tournament for SKT. All of a sudden, we're starting to see, okay, both with G2 and here with Team WE, there are ways to get advantages against this squad. The real question is if anyone can carry it through an entire game.
Yeah, I mean, people have gotten early leads versus SKT, but again, the strength that everyone always comes back to is this mid and late game, and it doesn't seem to be even faltering for a moment.
That once they see an error, how punishing they are on top of it. As soon as Team WE overreach for that Baron, SKT are like, this is game. Bear trap closed.
Now, Kobe, you've been talking about junglers throughout this tournament. I'm going to turn to you, Kreppel. Let's talk about Peanut and his path. I'm going to pull up some replay here for you where Kreppel's going to show us what's what.
Yeah, it's a really interesting start by Peanut. So I was a little confused. So I call up my local jungle buddy here, Ryan Koblar, and Kobe, we were thinking about this one.
I was trying so hard to come up with a reason to this crap.
Because you don't want to diss Peanut. You don't want to diss
Exactly.
the
It's
SKT jungler with the organization and the research behind it, but it does seem that this is much slower than the perfect.
Literally, the only thing I could come up with is that you're saving an extra smite charge, and then he uses them both on the red and the Krugs. But basically, the power clear, the efficient power clear that people have come up with, and we've seen a bunch in North America, is you're starting on that blue, but then smiting the blue. You continue the channels on that side. You can move up through the red side, and you can work your way back down. You finish much earlier than this, and you could even get back to this same point before that time.
Much faster, combined with the fact that the gang actually fails just a little bit, where they're they zone him off, and then they both flash off to him, and then they figure out, hey, Ivan actually doesn't have any damage.
Right.
It leads me to believe that the path actually was a mistake from Peanut, because it seems that they're just adjusting to this Ivan pick. Obviously wasn't played very often in the LCK, but I like to see SKT, you know, some teams, they practice stuff in scrims. Maybe Peanut's like, you know what, this champ, I like
I mean,
it.
well, we also talk about, you don't want to be predictable. You don't want to let people, be able to study your... It cuts into the research. Ivern jungle rest is very easy, and he very easily could have gone for either the power clear or the invade route. Ivern does keep you guessing.
It's inefficient, but unexpected.
Also, let me say there's a couple other tips that we saw that would lead you to believe that had a lot of Ivern games. It's like, he is stealing with Raptor Camp. He goes up to channel it right next to him. He like flicks an auto attack at him. He's like, what do you think you're doing there? And then finishes up stealing the Raptor Camp.
I think he actually went Mikhail's rush as well.
He rushed Mikhail's. There were a lot of...
It's bold.
Right, but all of this said, it's a good sign when SKT can still win games and a player is showing that they're not fully practiced on a champion. I want to push this forward, though, because as he may not have been practiced on the Ivern, he sure as heck practiced in smiting. So this here, a replay of the Baron smite steal for SKT.
Oh, and this just, it hurts me to watch. I had my head in my hands at this. I think I was screaming at this point, like, no, please, don't do it! And then it just insult in through the sound. Slow-mo smite steal at the high. That guy was so calm, walking away with the Baron.
This exact very moment, we can zoom in and watch Prosperity all the hopes.
Remember, you just said it, Credible. Ivern doesn't deal a tremendous amount of damage. In fact, very little damage.